good evening to you, and a good morning, good afternoon, no matter where you're tuning in from in the world. We want to say a huge big welcome and thank you for joining this webinar presentation. My name is Charlotte Venter. I am originally from South Africa, have lived in this country now for close to 18 or 19 years it is, and moved over with my husband, Andre. We've been married 28 years, and we have two children, Brandon, who's 26, Robin, who's 23. We live on the beautiful Sunshine Coast of Australia on 6 acres with some animals and also our parents, which is pretty amazing. Tonight, I'll be presenting with a beautiful friend, Madaleen Krogh, and she's going to be sharing a little bit more information with you with regards to the products. So my journey started as a biohacker when I had some of my own health conditions and issues to deal with, and it really set me on a journey of looking into what possibly could I do on a natural way to assist my body to get better performance. You know, most people today are not ill, but they're also not well. They just don't sleep well, they don't have great energy, they may not feel like they have brain clarity, so many different things. And one of the root causes for all of these things, plus thousands more, is actually oxidative stress. So if you've never heard of oxidative stress, I would encourage you to get a notepad, get a pen, and take down some details that we're going to share with you tonight. Before we jump into lots of detail, I want to share that as a company and a distributor, we will never claim to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. We certainly will not recommend that you go off if any drugs that you may be on. Always please work with your medical professional and get the advice and work together with them should you reduce your medications. So have you heard of oxidative stress? If you're a chiropractor that's on this call today, we want to say to you, thank you for what you are doing, helping people recover, feel great, function better. Part of your job will be so much easier when we reduce oxidative stress in the body. And that's really why Madaleen and I and so many others have felt it really important to share this information with you. You may never have been exposed to NRF2 activation or even NRF1 activation, but I promise you by the end of this short webinar, you're going to have a much greater idea of what this does mean. So NRF2 activation, Oxford University in 2010, after they did their own study and research on this, published an independent study on pubmed.gov, and they said this, they said NRF2 is proven to be the guardian of health span and the gatekeeper of a species' longevity. Well, when I saw that, guardian of health span, guardian, so it's the thing that checks out and protects and helps me to actually live healthier. Health span is live healthier for longer. And also it's the gatekeeper of a species longevity. In other words, how long you can go and how long maybe you live. I thought, sign me up, bring this stuff. I need this in my body. Then I saw in 2015, Washington State University published this. They said NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. And also it may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health, and they specifically say medicine. That blew me away because there's something like penicillin, stents in arteries. Those were medical breakthroughs that have saved hundreds of thousands of lives, and now they're saying NRF2 could be it. Well, then I continued on to research, because you see, my name is important to me. And I know as a professional, so would yours. Even if you're a health advocate, your recommendations are important, correct? So I wanted to be sure that this is really legitimate. So I went to pubmed.gov today and I checked out what are the latest numbers on oxidative stress. Well, friends, if you've not been exposed to pubmed.gov, this is the medical library of the USA government. It is maintained, funded by them. For medical professionals across the world, this is like their go-to. It is their Bible. If they want to research anything, they don't look at blogs or Google. They go to pubmed.gov to see something or information about disease or symptoms or treatments, or, you know, it could be products, it could be ingredients. And so anything that is on pubmed.gov has been independently double checked. So it's been done by somebody, checked by another committee to make sure that it is valid, and then published. And 1 out of 10,000 studies that are submitted gets published. So to have a study published is a big deal. And oh my gosh, 233,000 studies now published on oxidative stress. To me, that's like warning bells ringing. This needs to be something that I look at. I need to understand what is oxidative stress and how can I reduce that in my body. Then I went on to have a look at NRF2 activation. Now, friends, when I started with these products about 4.5 years ago, there were only about 4,000 studies. Look at it, over 12,000 studies already done on NRF2 activation. Another one that we really focus on is mitochondria. You know, mitochondria produces the energy in your body. If you're feeling tired, no wonder. As you're getting older, less mitochondria. So how important is mitochondria in the body? Well, 200 and something thousand studies, 217,000 studies, it must be important. And then I've learned that NRF1 can activate the mitochondrial pathway. Now, NRF1 activation, friends, is really new. There's only 1,000 studies at this stage on that. And you are on here today, one of the first chiropractors in the world, or medical professional, or maybe even just a health advocate, such as all of us, a biohacker, and you are hearing about this as one of the first people in the world. Now, in Australia and New Zealand, right across the whole world, we have hundreds, if not thousands, of chiropractors who use our products on themselves as well as on their patients. And here's such a person, Dr. Dan Shakespeare from Newcastle in Australia, an incredible guy, one of the most generous and kind chiropractors I've had any dealings with. He has a beautiful clinic called Valley Rising Chiropractic, and Dr. Dan says, as a chiropractor, I am trained to help release the natural healing potential of the human body. As opposed to other health modalities, we do not add things to the body to try and overpower it and cover up symptoms, but rather we want to utilize the innate intelligence of the body to help patients heal themselves. LifeVantage Synergizer technology, which is our products that Madaleen is going to explain to you in a few minutes, fits this philosophy perfectly. Since starting Protandem last year myself, my family and my patients have been able to reach even greater levels of health that I, as a practitioner, could not previously address before being introduced to LifeVantage. I now take NRF1, NRF2, NAD, and the probiotic daily, and I know I always will. Now, friends, it is important for us to show you something that is credible. This NRF2 product that Dr. Dan is talking about has been out for 18 years, but it has only really started in Australia around 4 years ago. This product, we have sold 27 million bottles of worldwide. So it has been tested and trialed thoroughly, and it works. Look at what Dr. Estelle Urtel says from Auckland in New Zealand. She's also a chiropractor. Dr. Estelle says, I believe Protandim, NRF2 and NRF1 enhance my patients' results, and I love this. You know, as a chiropractor or as a health advocate, we want to help people feel better, function better, get change in their body so that they can do the things they want to do. So knowing that it helps makes her feel great. She says, I believe in the science of these products and they are solid. I take them myself. And I know her husband's a doctor too. He also takes it, Dr. Andre Urtel. Friends, with that in mind, I'll mention to you that I have a list in front of me with literally, there's about 15 other chiropractors' names on there who also recommend the product and use them themselves. So we have a big base of medical professionals who really find value in these natural products. And right now, I'm going to hand over to my beautiful colleague and friend, Madaleen Krogh. Madaleen is an occupational therapist. She's an integrative health, and she's a biohacker. She loves natural stuff. She is one of the cleanest eaters and most health conscious people I have ever met. And she's brilliant at explaining to you exactly what these products do. So thank you so much, Madaleen.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. I always love listening to the stories and what other people are experiencing with our amazing science. So as Charlotte introduced me, my name is Madaleen. I live on the Sunshine Coast. I'm a mom of 4. I'm also an occupational therapist. And my interest and my love, my passion has always been natural health and wellness. And since I can remember from my late teens to my early 20s, I've been reading health books, and it was really something that I love to do. And when I was in my 20s, I was just go, burn the candle at both ends. And around the age of 30, 35, the wheels came off. And I thought, oh my goodness, in my 20s, I was invincible. And now I don't feel that vitality, that vibrant health anymore. And it was only when I discovered NRF2 that everything started to make sense for me, because we were living fairly healthy lives. My husband is a triathlete. I was consuming smoothies by the gallon, and still I didn't experience the vibrant health that I experienced as a 20-year-old. So in my professional career, I've had my own private practice, and the last 3 years I've aligned myself with the science of NRF2. And when I first heard of this, my initial thought was, why haven't anyone ever told me about this? Did I miss that class? Because really this is life-changing science. And I'm so excited to present this to you today. Thank you, Charlotte. So the whole science of biohacking relates to bio, your biology, and hacking, taking control of a complex system. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can biohack. If you eat great healthy food instead of processed foods, that's biohacking. If you go to bed early and you don't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's also biohacking. And one of the most amazing ways is through nutrigenomics. That is how you can hack your body's processes so that you can have optimal health. And that is what we are going to discover during this webinar. So my first question to you is, how healthy are you? And we can have a look at these pillars. So lifestyle relates to what you eat. Is it healthy or is it processed? Then also stress. Do you have stress, and how do you manage with that stress? Also sleep. What time do you go to bed? When you sleep, is it great restoring sleep, or are you just spending time in bed? Because we know that we need great sleep in order to function effectively. Then the second pillar is community, and I think a lot of us have felt this during the last couple of months with everything that's going on in the world. It's about aligning yourself with amazing people, getting that connection, doing fun activities with the people that you love and care about, and also building your own mindset. And then environment relates to the larger environment and the pollution that we have, but also in your house, the micro environment. Are you creating a safe and healthy environment for your body? because whatever you put on your skin is going to penetrate. It's going to be in your bloodstream within 26 seconds. And unfortunately, a lot of the products that we use, cleaning products and chemical products, makeup, is very toxic. So all of those products are going to penetrate and it will end up in your bloodstream. And then the last pillar, genetics, is absolutely exciting, because for many, many years, people thought that your genes are basically the cards that you were dealt and you cannot do anything about it. But now we know that through the science of nutrigenomics, we can do something about it. So nutrigenomics refers to nutrition having an impact on your genes. And that is what we are going to explore tonight. So in terms of aging, if you think about a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, what are the features of those kids? They are vibrant. They get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. They've got energy to burn. When they do sleep, they sleep really well. They are motivated. They do not take no for an answer. That's the type of energy and vibrant health that we are referring to while you have your youth pathways activated. However, around the age of 2025, those pathways start to shut down, and that's when aging starts. And I remember I lived in the US for a year. I was 19 and I had a friend and she was 27, and I always used to tease her and I told her that she's going downhill, and she did not appreciate that. But after I discovered this information, I discovered that it's really the truth, because as you can see, from your early 20s and 30s, all of those areas, the brain, the eyes, your ears, your heart, your lungs, bones and muscle, all of those areas start to decline as a result of the aging process. So what if we can flick those switches back on so that we can work against that aging process? And that is nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is using nutrients having an impact on your genes. And your genes are way more than the color of your hair, the color of your eyes. It's the information in your cells dictating what has to happen in your cells. So it's almost like the manual of your cells, and it's extremely powerful if you can biohack that process. So LifeVantage, this company, started with a simple question, and the scientists wanted to know, is declining health something we have to simply accept as a part of getting older? And the answer is no, because they discovered that we've got genes regulating those youth pathways, and we have the capacity to flick the good genes back on. And that is really exciting, because this is nutrigenomics. It's breakthrough science. 50 years ago, people did not know about nutrigenomics, and this is making headlines all across the health and wellness space, but also the medical world. So if we look at the reasons why people age, it has a lot to do with oxidative stress. And oxidative stress, if you look at the word, you can probably recognize the word oxygen. So that is where your cells are exposed to oxygen. And it's really ironic, because the very same thing that you need to survive, oxygen, is also causing oxidative stress. So that is where you have too many free radicals in your body. Now, it's basically like when you are cutting an apple and you leave it on the counter, it turns brown, or when you leave your car out next to the beach and there's a chip on the paint, it's going to rust. Your cells undergo a similar process where it's almost like the cells are rusting. And now that happens through breathing oxygen, but also metabolic processes, and then a variety of environmental factors like diet, what you eat, alcohol, smoking, stress, toxins, insecticides, pesticides, wireless signals, Wi-Fi, 5G, all of those create a lot of extra oxidative stress. And we know that exercise is good for you, right? But even too much exercise will increase your oxidative stress. Think about the person going for a 5K walk. That is a lot different to the person going for a 180K bike ride. They are burning oxygen and fuel in their body. So that's going to create a whole lot more of oxidative stress. Now, in terms of oxidative stress in your body, it's systemic, it's not localized. When you have a paper cut on your finger, that is localized. It's only your finger that's affected. Oxidative stress will affect every single cell, every single organ, every single system in your body. So as you can see on that picture, your heart, your skin, kidneys, joints, all of those systems will be affected. So we need to find a more effective way to reduce the oxidative stress after that pathway switches off. So the way that you can reduce oxidative stress, the free radicals, is to increase your antioxidants. It's basically like a balance. The more free radicals you have, the more antioxidants you need. Now, in terms of reducing the oxidative stress, when you take in great food like blueberries or oranges, that's what I've been taught. You need to eat a couple of oranges in winter and you'll be covered. Unfortunately, that's not enough because the average adult has about 37 trillion cells and you have potentially millions of free radicals in every single cell. So that brings you to about 3.7 quintillion free radicals. Now, when you take in antioxidants from food sources, it's going to eliminate the free radicals on a 1-to-1 ratio. So that means one antioxidant will eliminate one free radical. So if you look at that punnet of blueberries, all organic, it's going to eliminate 6,500 free radicals. Now, 3.7 quintillion minus 6,500, you still have a lot of ground to cover. And when I discovered this, I realized that I will never be able to eat myself out of this oxidative stress problem. And we need to make a different plan. So when you are taking food sources, it works on a 1-to-1 ratio. But as a child, you had that amazing youth pathway, and that is called the NRF2 pathway. And you have the capacity to switch that pathway back on. Now, you've got endogenous antioxidants in your body. It means your body makes those antioxidants. And as you can see at the bottom of that screen, catalase, glutathione, and SOD, superoxide dismutase, those are 3 of your endogenous antioxidants. Now, you don't have to remember those words, but what I want you to get out of this is that 1 molecule of SOD, superoxide dismutase, can eliminate 1 million free radicals. Now, if you think about the 37 trillion cells that you have in your body, if you have 1 molecule of SOD in every single cell, you're going to have 37 trillion times 1 million antioxidants in your body, compared to only having that blueberry or that orange worth of antioxidants. So if you have a look at red wine or vitamin C tablets or blueberries, you can see on, sorry, Charlotte, can you just flick the slide? You can see on the next slide that you will need 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 vitamin C tablets, or 87 glasses of wine to get the value of 1 tablet of Protandim NRF2. And there's actually a study that they've done. So as you can see on that graph, the red line is the amount of oxidative stress that you have as a baby. Really, there's no oxidative stress. Then around the age of 20, it spikes. And as you get older, your oxidative stress will increase. However, in the study, they tested people ranging between 20 and 80-year-old. And after 120 days, they could not distinguish between the blood of the 80-year-olds and the 20-year-olds. Now, that is incredible news. Because if you think about aging, it's not about the gray hair and the wrinkles. It's about what's happening on the inside of your body. And do you want to be that granny in the retirement village that is wild and vibrant? Or do you want to be the person who just aged? I certainly want to share this with as many people possible, because when I'm in that age facility, that retirement village, I want to have all of my friends with me with vibrant health. So a lot of people come to me and they say, I'm already using these activators. Unfortunately, when you take them in separately, for instance, when you go to the health food store and you buy green tea, turmeric, bacopa, you're not going to have that amazing synergy. So when you take this in the specific synergy, and it's going to it's going to be 18 times more effective, because this has been a recipe developed over 40 years, 2,500 different blends. So I am so honored to present this to you, because this is medical breakthrough science. This is something that really, really works. So we are talking about NRF2, and this is our synergizer. As you can see, those are the ingredients. Milk thistle is a great liver detoxifier. Bacopa is great for memory and learning. Ashwagandha, great for mood. Green tea is great for metabolism and antioxidant value. And turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory. So this is going to help you to boost all of those endogenous antioxidants, boost your glutathione by 300%. That is massive, and is going to help you to rejuvenate your cells and detox better. Better sleep, better energy, and that's what we're looking for. So as Charlotte mentioned, we've got so many peer-reviewed studies. We've got 26 on PubMed. And please note that this is not specifically on turmeric or ashwagandha. This is brand product studies that they've done, and it was not done by the company. Our company started in 2003 in the US. In 2005, word got out that it was potentially amazing, and there was an investigative report. So what happened was the presenter went in front of the cameras, he swallowed one of these tablets, and after 2 weeks, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45%, and after 4 weeks, it was reduced by 70%. When that investigative report aired, so many credible universities and institutions came to the company and said, oh my goodness, we want to do research, and we want to pay for those research, because we honestly believe that this is a medical breakthrough. And that's why we currently have all of these studies. So Washington State, Ohio, Colorado, even the American Heart Association has done a study. Protandim NRF2 is the only supplement that has ever been featured in the American Heart Association journal. And as Charlotte mentioned, we've got 26 studies on Protandim. All of the supplements in the world together combined do not have 26 studies. So when a university like Washington State University says that NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future, NRF2 may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health, I believe that every person that breathes need to take notice of this, because this is the future of medicine. So NRF2 is absolutely amazing. And then we have the companion of NRF2 called NRF1. And NRF1 specifically works on your mitochondria. Now, from biology, you can probably remember mitochondria are the energy hubs of the cells, basically like the batteries. Unlike this picture, you do not have 3 mitochondria per cell, you've got thousands. So every single cell in your body, except for your red blood cells, have mitochondria. Unfortunately, with aging, with oxidative stress, with environmental factors, the mitochondria in your cell decrease in number and in function. So you've got less mitochondria, and those that you do have become less effective. Now, what if you can upregulate the function of your mitochondria so you can activate that mitochondrial biogenesis? And that's exactly what we are doing with NRF1. Again, this is a natural product, 5 natural ingredients: L-carnitine, quercetin, grapeseed extract, ALA, and CoQ10. And that is going to help you to make ATP. So I want you to think about the organs that you have in your body. If you have a heart cell, a liver cell, a muscle cell, and that cell is underpowered in terms of the mitochondria operating in that cell, you're going to have an underpowered organ. And that is what we often see with aging. So with NRF1, it's going to help you to make more mitochondria, more healthy mitochondria, so that you can have abundant health. It's basically like if you think about your car. If you have the most beautiful car in your driveway and you remove the battery, the car is not going anywhere. So we really have to look after our own mitochondria. And all of these products are approved by the TGA, by the NSF. They are triple tested for heavy metals, and also the Banned Substances Control Group of America has approved these products. So we've got many Olympic athletes using these products. So this is the investigative report that I refer to. If you have never seen this investigative report, please go back to the person that invited you to watch this webinar, because it's absolutely brilliant and it's science-based. So what we are talking about here is not supplementation, because supplementation is where you are addressing a deficit. So if we're thinking about B12, iron, magnesium, you are supplementing, you are taking more. We are flicking switches. Everything that you are doing in your life is all about flicking switches. That is nutrigenomics, that is epigenetics. If you are sitting in front of the couch and you're watching Netflix and eating rubbish food, you are flicking specific switches. If you go for a run and you eat healthy food, you are flicking better switches. And with NRF1 and NRF2, we are focused on helping you to flick those good switches, those good genes in every single cell of your body, whether you are awake or sleeping. This is an amazing story, and I want to end off with this. So David Hendry is a chiropractor on the Sunshine Coast, and in his early 20s and 30s, he was a professional athlete, and he is currently incorporating NRF2, NRF1 with his clients. And he says, the method that I used as a professional athlete to reduce oxidative stress was supplementation. I have never heard of activation. I believe wholeheartedly that if I had Protandim NRF2 and NRF1 back then, I would have been on the podium. That is absolutely phenomenal, because oxidative stress is, I sometimes describe your body as a vacuum cleaner. If you are a vacuum cleaner as a child, you've got this amazing automatic system getting rid of the oxidative stress. Someone's cleaning out the filters. Around the age of 2025, no one cleans out the filters anymore. You need to get someone back to clean out the filters, and you need to get that vacuum to operate even better with the help of the NRF1, and that's what it's going to do for you. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your time. Please go back to the person that invited you. There's a lot of studies that you can go and research. Please go onto the internet and type in oxidative stress and do your own research. And we would love to walk this journey with you, and we would love to see you activated and help us to have more value, more influence, and help our clients even better. Thank you so much.